All right, Levi, I'm glad you were able to join us. This is I think it's probably our third or second podcast. We like to do them so we get to meet people in the community. But today we're meeting Levi, who's the fashion and interior design teacher at Southwest Career and Technical Academy. Going forward, I'm going to call it SWCTA. It's just easier to say SWCTA than Southwest Career and Technical Academy. But Levi works there. Levi, how's it going?
It's good. How are you?
Good, good. We just met a short time ago, which was nice, but it's always good to see you. So, Levi, tell us a little bit about why you are at SWCTA. What brought you there?
My plan was never to be a high school teacher. I think a lot of us currently kind of like fell into teaching, which is kind of exciting. For those of you who don't know, Southwest Career and Technical Academy is a technical academy, which is like a special type of school we have in Las Vegas specifically. And they train students on technical skills and like trade professions at a high school level. So even before they get to college, they kind of get to see if that's something they want to do. So a magnet school, which means we have a lot of specialty programs. So we have dental assisting, culinary, fashion design, interior design, video game design, automotive. So our school's a little unique in that a lot of the teachers are industry professionals who are pulled from the industry to teach at the school because they have a specific skill set that like a normal teacher that has a degree in teaching wouldn't have. So my background is actually in costume design. I have 3 degrees. I have a degree in religious studies, a degree in history, and then a degree in theater production, specifically costume. And I moved out to Vegas to work for Cirque du Soleil. So I did 2 years at Michael Jackson 1 in their costume department. And then I got kind of bored with that. And I thought I'd try doing fashion work for the Fashion Institute in Los Angeles, which is one of the best fashion schools in the country, FIDM. And so I started doing college recruitment work. So my job was I would go to high schools and identify students that were skilled enough to go to fashion school, essentially. And my very first day on the job, I went to Southwest because it's one of the best fashion schools at a high school level in the country. And the teacher that was in charge of the program at the time said, "You don't know it, but you're going to be in charge of this program one day." And I kind of laughed at her and I was like, "Over my dead body, will I be a teacher?" Fast forward to a couple years later, I had moved back to working for Cirque. I was specifically working for Chris Angel at the time, and the pandemic happened, and everyone lost their jobs because the whole strip shut down,
Right.
and didn't have a job. And the school district called because I had a teaching license, and they were like, "Hey, you have a teaching license. Can you take over the fashion design program at Southwest?" And I kind of laughed and I was like, "Well, I'm not doing anything else, so sure, here we are." So I started in 2020 during the pandemic when we were in like online education, hybrid education, as they called it. Distance learning, I think is the technical term they used. And my whole first year, I taught like this through a computer screen, through Google Meet to the kids, which was really challenging. And then we moved back to in-person education last year, and this is now my third year. And I'm really enjoying it. It's really cool. So
Yeah. Yeah. Well, thanks. Thanks for sharing. It seems, yeah, the 2 times I've been there, the students really like you. I like being there. I like the vibe. I like how it feels. I think it inspires creation. I'm pretty sure the students feel the same way.
yeah.
Have you, in the 3 years that you've been teaching there, have you had any experiences that you want to share that you'll never forget? Something unique?
Um, I think one of the coolest things about being a teacher is watching kids have those like aha moments where they discover they
Hmm.
can do something.
Yeah.
And luckily I'm in a subject where that happens a lot, but it's like really cool because it's normally hands-on. So just watching the students kind of work on different projects and develop those skills. And a lot of what fashion construction is like trial and error until you figure out like how something works or how it can go together, because sewing is like a Lego set. Like there's a specific set of instructions, there's a specific way to do it. It always produces the same result. And you can experiment by adding new pieces or taking stuff away. And that's how you get different designs. But at the core, it's kind of the same. So watching the students have that first moment of discovering how to do something is really fun. Um, you kind of get that a little bit at each grade level, but the senior year when we teach pattern drafting and they like draft a pair of pants or something for the first time and they're like, oh, that's how that works. That's why pants fit this way.
Right.
That's really rewarding, which we actually did as part of the collaboration with RedPanda Systems. But yeah, I think moments like those are kind of the things you won't forget. I don't have any like specific ones. Oh, you know what a good one is? The Hunger Games exhibition down at MGM sponsored
Yeah.
a contest this year.
Yeah.
And the students were challenged to create an art piece using only sustainable materials that celebrated the 10th anniversary of the Hunger Games, the movies and the books.
Right.
And so my students made half-scale dresses out of recycled materials, so like recycled fabric from old t-shirts or bedding or pillowcases or whatever, that looked like costumes from the Hunger Games. And they had 25 finalists. And of the 25 finalists, 20 of them were from Southwest, from the fashion program. And then all 4 of the finalists that actually like won the 4 categories were from our school. And that was really cool to see the students kind of discover those, how to make those costumes, how they may have been made in the movies, but they're making with sustainable materials. Yeah, so we got to take the kids down to the Hunger Games exhibit, and that was just like really, really cool and really rewarding because they got to see the costumes from the movie in person, and do the activities and talk to people that like worked on the movie, and it was a really cool experience. So.
And where can people go see those exhibits?
The Hunger Games exhibition is at the MGM Grand down on the Strip. So it's in the back of the hotel. It's a great exhibit.
Yeah.
If you go in the gift shop, there's a couple of little half-scale mannequins that have our kids' art in it.
That is so neat. That's so cool. Yeah, that would be awesome for those students. Are they still in school right now, the same
Yep.
students?
Those students are seniors this year.
Oh, that's awesome.
We
Well,
went,
that's cool.
I think it was 3 weeks ago now, we went and got to see their work down there. It was really neat. And like, how cool is it that like a 18-year-old kid can be like, I had art on the Las Vegas Strip, like in high school. Like that's
Right.
really, really cool.
Right. So I bet you in a million years, you probably never thought that cybersecurity would cross over into fashion.
No, definitely not.
What did you think when you were presented or given that idea?
When our community partnership person came in and they're like, there's this IT security company thing. They want to like do something with fashion. I was like, what? What do you mean? I was like, how? But I was really excited actually, just because pre-pandemic Southwest was really involved in the community and did a lot of stuff out and about. And we got a lot of our students work out in the community, and people knew that the school kind of existed. And then like, 1 year changes everything. The pandemic locked everything down, and our school in particular became really reclusive because we didn't have a reason to open up, because like schools that had sports, like they started having sporting events. Southwest doesn't have any sports, so there's no reason to invite people to campus.
Right.
So just having the opportunity again to make those community connections, I was really excited about. And what the idea that you had that led to the collaboration, I thought ended up being really exciting, and the kids loved it.
Yeah, I agree. I just thought it would be neat to do, but I also wanted to come up with something that would be the students would want to do as well, right? So I hope we can keep doing it. I hope we can do it again. Do you want to share anything about the process? Anything that the students learned, or did they share any feedback with you about designing the clothes?
Yeah. So the collaboration that RedPanda Systems did with the fashion program at Southwest was really cool, because you came in and you presented kind of like, this is what our company is. This is visually what we want to present to the community. And you kind of gave us for lack of a better term, I guess, a design brief, about how you wanted RedPanda employees to look if they were wearing a uniform on the job. And you allowed the students to have like a lot of creativity and kind of run with it. And they had one-on-one meetings with you and your staff about like their designs and concepts. So they came up with some really cool stuff. There was the student that made like the RedPanda mittens and the booties, little slippers, I guess would be a better word.
Yeah.
For the slippers. But we really focused on like the shirt and the pants and making sure they were unique. And it was at a time in the pacing of the program that I had to teach them how to draft pants by hand anyway.
Oh, awesome.
So they ended up making or mocking up samples of what pants would look like for RedPanda. which you saw some of those today. So it's kind of cool that they took their creative designs and they painted it really beautifully using watercolor paints, and then presented them to you, got some feedback, and then they made the pants in real life, which is really cool.
Yeah, I really enjoyed the experience. And like I said, just being there on campus or being around the students, it does inspire creativity.
Mm-hmm.
It was nice to see, the company colors, our company colors in form of fashion, but then to talk to graphic design and all that, it is inspiring. It brings a whole new light of ideas that can do, or that can help not only the community, but help our business and help students. And it's just a whole circle thing that I really enjoy.
And it's really great that we have so many ways that we can collaborate and continue to grow. Like this year was kind of our trial run, and we can take it, we can do the same thing next year, or we can change it, because feedback is what makes the program better. And obviously we want to do stuff that benefits the community. And especially, you met our graphic design teacher today. She and I were like co-teaching most of the time. She's almost always in the room. So just having the opportunity to get that other sort of technical design, another technical form of fashion design that's more digital, in there is great.
Right. So if I were an up and coming student or parent and I wanted to learn more about your program, right, about Southwest Tech, but the fashion design program, where could I go? What could I do? Who could I speak with? How does that happen? Because I apologize, Levi, real quick. My understanding is Southwest Tech is not like a normal public school. You can't just go there, right?
Yep. So Southwest is a magnet school. Magnet schools are technically public schools, but you can't just go. So we're in the southwest of the valley. Students can apply anywhere in Las Vegas to go to Southwest. But they apply when they're in 8th grade, and then it's a lottery system to see who gets in. Previously, pre-pandemic, there would be like portfolio or grade or behavior requirements, but since the pandemic, they've gotten rid of most of those. So they just, if you want to apply to a magnet school, like it has a program that you're interested in, you check the box that you want to go, you check the program. And then if you're one of the lucky 36 each year that gets to go to a specific program, your name's drawn out of hat and you get to go. Which is really cool. Our programs are 3-year programs, so it's freshman, sophomore, junior year. Fashion has a 4th year, which is unusual. Most programs are only 2 or 3. And that's kind of the system. So if you're interested in learning more about that, if you're a parent, you're like, oh, I've never heard of this, or I want to go, you can go to SWCTA.net. It's currently down because we're updating the website, making it really, really pretty. You can Google it as well. Actually, I should double check that. Hold on here. I'm just gonna double check that real quick because they did update. It might be up. Yes, it is up. Yay! So the website's up now. It was down yesterday.
Okay.
And you can go there. It's swcta.net. It has information about all the teachers, information about the programs, where we're located, how to apply. The application process for this upcoming school year, the 23-24 school year, is obviously already closed. We actually announced the kids that are in last week, which is really exciting. The parents are thrilled because they'll be calling until they know. They're like, is my kid in? Is my kid in? But we're really excited for the new crop of kids.
That's awesome.
Really great.
And the kids would be very lucky if they actually understood if they go to Southwest, they would get you as a professor.
Yeah.
I think it's great. I think it's great. I love what you're doing. I love that you're there. My son is there. He's in the culinary, but if he ever decided to fashion, that would be the place. I mean, I would love if someone were to go there and have you as a professor. So, all right. Well, I thank you for your time. I didn't want to take too much time, but I'm so glad I got to talk to you, Levi. I know our worlds collided, and I'm super excited that they did, and I hope we can work together soon.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to doing more, seeing you at the luncheon as a thank you. And thank you for reaching out, because we would have never made this connection unless you were, the person that was like, let's do this crazy idea I have. And the kids loved it and we loved it. So
thank you
so much.
Well, thanks, Levi, and have a good day.
Thanks. Bye.
Bye.